Hello, I'm Deanna Herron, host of the Deanna Herron Podcast Show. Have you ever wanted to do something bold, like start a business, write a book, or go for your dream job? This show was created for women just like you who want to be bold, shine bright with grace. My goal is to educate you, inspire you, and empower you with ideas that can transform your life. Be inspired by the Deanna Herron Podcast Show at deannaherron.net. Hello, and welcome to the Deanna Herron Podcast Show. This is Deanna Herron, your host. I'm excited to be with you on this Tuesday, as always. And today, I have a few questions to start off with before we get right into the podcast. We're going to be talking about creating a magnet of success in your life. And so I want to ask you, what are you attracting in your life today? We hear about the law of attraction a lot. And I want you to think of yourself as a magnet for what you want in your life. And you have to know what you want in order to attract what you want. So what are you attracting in your life today? Is it what you truly want in your life? Are you attracting positive people? Are you in a constant state of stress? I know I've definitely been there. Do you have a tendency to see what you don't have instead of the abundance of what you currently have? I've been there as well. So today, what we are going to talk about is how you can transform those thoughts, those actions, and really create a magnet for what you want. So let's get started. So once again, I just want you to think about yourself being a magnet in this world. So if you are attracting the things that you want, you're actually vibrating. Your energy is super, super high. If you have great goals, big goals, ginormous goals, which most of us who are on podcasts, who listen to podcasts, we have ginormous goals. We want more for our life. We want to be better. We want to improve. We want to be the best versions of ourselves. So what does that look like for us? What it looks like is we want to have more positive emotions than we have negative emotions. And this is something that I went through actually in 2020, really learn how to manage my emotions and really vibrate on a higher energy scale. You guys, we are living, breathing organisms. We are human beings. We have energy. Everything that is within us creates energy, from our cells to our mitochondria to our organs, everything, the oxygen that we breathe, that is all energy. Energy is movement. And so you want to create a positive energy so that you can attract positive things. So the way you attract what you want, which is abundance, is focusing on creating emotions like love, joy, appreciation, and gratitude throughout the day. So one of my favorite things to talk about and to share with others is creating an attitude of gratitude. I have a gratitude journal. And if you've been with me on this podcast for a while, I'm sure you write a gratitude journal every morning as well. I'm going to offer to you and challenge you today to 10x that for the next 30 days. If you are not getting what you want, let's 10x your level of gratitude, your level of abundance, your level of joy for the next 30 days and create that higher vibrational energy within you. So first you have to know what you want, and that needs to be very detailed. And I don't want you to limit yourself. So here are the questions that I want you to ask yourself. Take some time, write in your journal, and really think about it. And I want you to overthink it, but I want you to think about it. I want you to think about what you want. What is it that you want? If you want a future podcast, if you want to write a book, if you want to have a multi-million-dollar business, if one of your goals is to become a multi-millionaire, write that out, whatever that is. And I want you to write out how you would feel already if you had this. So how would you feel today if you already had that $1 million? How would you feel today if you already had that multi-million-dollar business? How would you feel today if you were able to write a check to your favorite charity? How would you feel? And I want you to describe it in detail. These are the two things I want you to write out for every goal that you have in your life, what you want, what it is that you want. And I'm betting that it's not just one thing. You have a list of multiple things that you want to create in your life. Do you want to create more abundance? Do you want to have that house of your dreams? Do you want to take your family on amazing vacations? I'm sharing some of my goals and some of my dreams as well. So write that out with each individual goal that you have, what you want and how you would feel right now if you had this. So that feeling, that emotion is what is going to create that attraction for what you want. If you really want to increase your attraction to what you want, like I said earlier, you have to up your gratitude for the next 30 days. Okay. And some of these things that I'm going to share with you, you may want to continue on with them, but I definitely want you to up your gratitude journaling. And I'm going to give you some suggestions of how you can up your gratitude right now, but really up that for the next 30 days. I'm committed. I just want you to know I'm committed. I'm already doing this. I'm committed with you. And so on the next two podcasts, I'm going to be sharing with you some other ideas to really draw in that attraction through gratitude. But I'm going to make 3 suggestions of how you can 10x your gratitude in the next 30 days. Okay. So we're 10xing. I want you to remember that. And if you really want to increase that abundance in your life, the 10xing is what you need to do today. So here's 3 gratitude practices. Number 1, I want you to write a thank you card every day for the next 30 days. A thank you card just in appreciation and in great detail with a lot of heart, a lot of emotions for the people, for 30 people in your life. Just send them a thank you card. I know that's can be so overwhelming, you guys, but the person that is going to receive that thank you card, you have no idea. If they were put on your heart, they were meant to receive this card. They need to hear from you in some way. Okay. So write a thank you card daily for 30 days and just pouring out your gratitude for this person and how much they've impacted your life and what they have done for you. It could be something as simple as someone bought your lunch or smiled or called right when you needed them. Whatever that is, write it out for them. Don't forget, it can be your family, your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, your boss, your assistant, whoever is in your life, but 30 days of gratitude. That's number 1. Every day for 30 days. Number 2, create a gratitude jar. I already have one in my home. And every time I walk by that jar, I have sticky notes by that jar. And I just write down, I'm grateful for because. Okay. I'm grateful for blank because, and I'm attaching an emotion to it. And so that is a really important piece of this. I'm going to tell you, my gratitude jar is not pretty. It's in my kitchen and it's Post-it notes that are all different neon colors. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It just has to be something that is in your eyesight that when you see it, it triggers that, okay, I'm great, triggers that thought for you to say, okay, I am grateful for this because, okay. And every time I walk by it, you guys, I'm putting something in that gratitude jar. Life-changing, mind-blowing. I'm telling you, your attitude is going to have a major, major shift. So gratitude jar. Number 3, at the end of the day, and I'm going to tell you why this is important at the end of the day. At the end of the day, ask yourself 4 questions. And so what I recommend is that you do this while you're in bed. You just ask yourself these 4 questions, journal. Maybe your husband, you can ask him those questions. It can be a good bedtime routine. And ask the 4 questions of yourself. Who or what inspired me today? Who or what inspired me today? They don't have to be long answers. So I don't want you to think you have to write, an essay on these questions, but who or what inspired me today? The second question, what touched me today? What touched you today? Maybe it was in an emotional way, or maybe someone did a random act of kindness, or maybe someone said something to you. What is it that touched you? Doesn't have to be anything profound, but just what touched you today. Third question, what made you smile or laugh today? We all know smiling and laughter definitely increases that emotion, right? That happiness, that joy. And so, what is it that made you smile or laugh today? Number 4, what was the greatest thing that happened today? What was the greatest thing? And it could simply be, you know what? I did everything on my to-do list. Or I sat down and had coffee with my husband this morning. We had a great conversation. Or I had an amazing meditation time. My exercise was spot on. Whatever that is, what was the greatest thing that happened today? Maybe you were able to go and visit your kids at their school if they're still in school, whatever that happens to be. What is so important about doing this at the end of the day is what you think about right before you go to bed is what your brain is processing throughout the evening. So do you want your brain to be processing a crime movie that you watch? Or do you want your brain to be processing gratitude, abundance, great thoughts, positive energy? I know I do. You guys, there are studies that show that this absolutely works when you do this before you go to bed. So like I said, maybe this is something that you and your husband can do together, part of your night routine. And it will increase both of your gratitude, which will really increase the energy within your house, right? One thing that I forgot to say, I'm going to go back to gratitude jar. Why don't you do this with your family, with your kids? Every time they walk by the gratitude jar, they can say, this is what I'm grateful for. You can write it on a piece of paper and put it in that jar. Your husband, your spouse, your wife can do the same thing. Why not? Why not really create a positive, abundant attitude within your family? So that is something that we're doing within my home. So like I said before, you guys, I'm committed for the next 30 days. I'm doing this with you. We are going to be talking about gratitude for the next 3 podcasts because I think it is so important, for 3 podcasts. So this one and the next 2 podcasts, I think it's so valuable for what you want to achieve and accomplish because you guys, throughout the day, I don't know if you watch the news or you're watching TV, but there can be a lot of negative things that come into our heart, our spirit, and can really decrease the amount of joy and happiness that we experience. So I think it's important for us to put good things back into the world. So I'm excited to do this with you. Do me a favor. I would love for you to take a picture of your gratitude jar. And whether you want to take it when it's full or as you're just starting, it doesn't matter to me, but I would love to see it. So tag me on Instagram at Deanna Herron. I'd love to see what you're doing, how your family is creating gratitude. If you have your kids putting something in the jar for gratitude, take a picture of that too. That brings me so much joy to see what you're creating within your family. If you would like to be a part of an amazing group of women who love, encourage, and empower each other, go to my website, deannaherron.net, and click on the Facebook icon, and you can be added to my private Facebook group called Deanna's Diamonds. I do some trainings within there. I go live, and I offer you many different things before they're out into other avenues, other parts of the world, etc. So I would love for you to be a part of that. And as always, if this podcast is adding value to you, it would mean the world to me if you would rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast and share it with your family and friends, because together, you guys, we can make a difference in this world. So I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a part of this amazing community. that has been created through this podcast. I love hearing from you, and I love hearing that this is adding value to you. So God bless you. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday.